In this video, I will tell you how much money you can make in Finland as a student and after graduation, and where to find real-time information on average salary levels in your field when applying for a job in Finland. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time we are meeting, my name is Oliver and I'm a master's student in economics at Aalto University in Finland. And on this channel we talk about education and early career development, specifically here in Finland. So if you are new here, do consider subscribing. So how much money can you make in your field and where to find accurate information on this topic? So as with many of the other topics I cover on this channel, the problem here is that information on average salaries in Finland is spread around the internet and it is super hard to find reliable information that you can use. This is especially unfortunate because this kind of information is extremely important not only for you to know which field to pursue in your studies, but also to help you with your salary negotiations. So having some kind of a benchmark and a realistic idea of how much companies are actually willing to offer is really handy when negotiating your salary as an international applicant. This guarantees that you will never be A, lowballs in your negotiations, and B, nor will you ask for something completely ridiculous that would then get you disqualified from the hiring process outright. So while there are a few different tools that I can recommend you to use, the absolute best one is a free mobile app called MeetFrank that you can get for both iOS and Android. So before I explain how MeetFrank works, I just want to give full disclosure that MeetFrank is also the sponsor of this video. So the idea of MeetFrank is to help you find your dream job in Finland by automatically keeping an eye out for relevant job opportunities, showing you what companies are recruiting in your field and on what terms, as well as notifying you if and when anything suitable opens up. MeetFrank also has a feature that gives you up-to-date information on what skills in your field are most sought after at each moment in time. However, most importantly in regards to this video, MeetFrank gives you real-time insights into the Finnish job market and, for example, real-time information on salary levels in your field. So just to be clear here, I've personally been using their app from the day that it launched in Finland, and as a person who has worked for 4 years in the Finnish recruitment market, I've been really happy with the features that their team has been adding to the app over time. So as I see it, MeetFrank is providing job seekers with tools that no other recruitment company in Finland is willing to provide. And if you want to get the most out of this video, I really recommend that you first go and download the app from the App Store or from Google Play so that you can follow along as I go through the different features. I have links to both stores in the description box below, so go ahead and pause this video until you have the app downloaded. Again, the app is completely free to use and it does not include any kind of in-app purchases. So once you have the app downloaded and you open it for the first time, it is going to prompt you to create a profile. The cool thing here is that the app does not require a login and it will not ask you for your personal details like your email address or your phone number. However, in order to create a profile, let's at least give ourselves a name. So while you're setting up a profile, the bot inside of the app will run you through the entire process step by step, and it's actually super easy. First, let's give the app our location, which in my case is Helsinki, Finland. After that, the app is going to ask you for your specialty. So your specialty in this case is basically your field or your, well, specialty that you're working on. Once you have finished the profile, the app is going to recommend you different jobs and content based on, for example, this selection, and you can only select one of these options. However, do keep in mind that you can always go ahead and check out the different jobs and content under each of these categories, even after you have finished your profile. Anyhow, in my case, my specialty would be marketing, PR, and media. Next, the app is going to ask you for your 6 superpowers. So your superpowers are basically your core skills that you would especially want to market to potential employers. For me, those could be, for example, branding, content marketing, Facebook and Google ads, media strategy, and let's see, SEO and SEM. Next, the app wants you to tell it up to 5 different languages that you are fluent in. For me, those would be, for example, of course, Finnish, that's my native tongue, and I'm fluent in English. I do also speak some Swedish and German, however, those are not fluent enough for me to market them to potential employers. Alright, so now the app wants you to tell it how many years of experience you have in the field that you selected just a second ago. Personally, I have just over 4 years of experience in marketing, PR, and media, so I'm going to go with this. So after that, the app asks you for your most recent or current job title. So for me, that was marketing specialist. There you go. Next, the app wants to know what industries you are familiar with. So basically, these are the different industries that you have been working on previously. So in my case, under technology, I am, for example, familiar with clean tech. Under, let's say, marketing, advertising, and PR, I have media and content, consultancy, advertising, marketing, and PR and communications. And under services and consulting, I have experience in business consulting, HR and recruiting, and sales and marketing. Alright, so after that, the app wants to know how large is the company you currently or most recently worked at. So for example, in my case, the recruitment company that I used to work for had around 70 people when I resigned, so I'd go with this category. The next step is very important, especially in regards to this video. So the app wants to know what is your gross monthly salary, meaning your salary before taxes. For example, for me, let's say that my previous job paid me around 3,700 euros a month. Alright, so now we will select different incentives or reasons why we would actually want to change jobs. So for example, for me, that could be a higher salary. That's always nice. I do like flexible working hours. I also do enjoy working at a startup environment. However, if I were to work at a startup, I would also want to have options or equity. In addition, it's always fun to have new growth opportunities as well as new challenges. Alright, so finally, the app is going to ask us to enable push notifications. So the idea is that whenever the app notices potential job opportunities that suit your profile, it wants to give you a notification. So let's enable that right now. So now that we have a profile set up, we can immediately see that the app starts to recommend to us personalized job opportunities as well as information based on our salary. So for example, based on the information that I just gave the app, the average salary based on my matches, so my experience and personal information in the field that I selected is around 4,383 euros, which, as it happens, is 18% more than I was paid in my previous job. So the second really interesting feature about salaries inside the app is actually this salary ranking graph that you can see right here. So according to the information that I gave the app, I currently rank as the 1,279th out of all the people who are in my field and using the app. So this is really interesting because this means that I have still quite a way to go before I actually hit those very high salary levels in my field. So the third and the final feature specifically about salaries is that when you're browsing through the different job opportunities that the app is recommending you, you can actually see here in the top right corner that the app is giving you information on how much more or less that company would be willing to pay you for that specific position. So I think that this is a really interesting feature, and it's especially useful when you're negotiating for your salary, for example, the next time that you're applying for a job. So in addition to the personalized salary information that the app provides, the MeetFrank website actually has even more information about the overall job market in Finland. So if you go to meetfrank.com and from the front page menu navigate to Insights, you get a lot of new information that is not necessarily provided by the app. So for example, we have the historical gross salaries as well as the offered versus expected gross salaries in Finland. However, what makes this really cool is that you can easily browse through different fields and specialities and see how their salaries compare to each other. So this is really handy, especially for anyone who has not yet decided what they want to study and want to assess future career prospects based on average salaries paid in different fields. Of course, you can see a lot of other information from this page as well. These include things like market competition, meaning how difficult it is to get hired in the field at that specific moment, and most in-demand skills in each field, as well as perks offered by companies operating in each field. So yeah, this is how you can use MeetFrank to find salary information in Finland. Again, I really recommend that you go ahead and download the app and check out how much you could actually make if you were to apply for a job in your field right now. Once again, I have the links to download the app in the description box below. So, while MeetFrank is arguably the best source to find real-time information on salary levels in Finland, you can also use a few other sources to give you a bit more context. So the second source I would recommend, but only as a benchmark, are the salary recommendations set by interest groups and organizations representing your field. For example, TEK, or Tekniikan Akateemiset, is the largest organization representing academically educated engineers and architects in Finland, and they do annual surveys on industry salaries and their development. Based on that information, they give recommendations on salaries for students and recent graduates. TEK is of course just one example, and most large industries in Finland have similar recommendations from their respective interest groups. So while these websites are great sources of information and these organizations base their salary recommendations on industry information, they are still not perfect. First of all, the recommendations are updated usually only around once a year, and they do not take into account your prior work experience, skill set, or, for example, the fluctuations in the job market. So 2020 is a great example of a year during which these recommendations have been basically flushed down the toilet. A lot of people lost their jobs, got furloughed, and many companies had to renegotiate their salaries. The industry recommendations set by unions simply cannot keep up with these kind of real-time changes in the job market, and this is why their salary recommendations can sometimes be somewhat misleading. However, I don't mean to say that they are useless. Absolutely not. I think they work fine as a benchmark, but they do not give you a realistic picture of the current job market, unlike MeetFrank. Alright, so the third way to find information on salaries is using Glassdoor. So Glassdoor.com is a website that was originally meant to improve employer transparency by giving employees the opportunity to write reviews of their employers. In addition, people could share information about the salaries offered by their employer depending on the title or job description. So this makes Glassdoor a good tool for reviewing a specific company and the salaries they pay for specific roles. However, the problem is that Glassdoor is not that widely used in Finland, and thus the data and many of the salary tools they offer do not work properly. So just to summarize, while there are multiple sources that you could use when looking for salaries in Finland, most websites and sources do not take into account your personal background or the fluctuations in the job market. This is why MeetFrank is such a great tool, not only for looking for a job, but also for assessing and negotiating your salary. They are the only company working in the Finnish recruitment market offering these kind of data-based, holistic tools for job seekers, and I really appreciate the fact that they are trying to bring this level of transparency to the market. Again, just to reiterate, the app is completely free to use and it does not include any kind of in-app purchases or other paywalls. Links to download can be found in the description box below. Anyways, that is it for this video. If you found this video helpful, do give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might also be interested in the topic. Also, if you have anything to ask about this or any other topic related to studying or working in Finland, write them down in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.